Hello viewers, Northeast India do several countries logode international borders share kore aro bishi salbra illegal immigration nuliwi land protection demographic changes aro indigenous communities laga security oporde concern aro challenges kan bishi face kurna ai thake edu issues aro concern kan more understanding paunimide aji global window lode ekta special guest ase ningtho khongjam Ibungochoubi tai ekta senior journalist ase aro tai Northeast Indigenous Peoples Forum Lagabi Secretary General ase I will allow de alop khoda udi kursa Sir, thank you so much apni la precious time mange dani mide acha apni la moi introduction short kuidishi liwi viewers khange we alop share ko paro aro apni la Northeast Indigenous Peoples Forum do kina form ushi aro idu la opor develop ko paro details pra
Thank you for inviting me here to Pura North East to alop digdar situation, illegal immigration or kiba indigenous issue to for many decades issue to chole ase. Will be 2015, 16, 17 to alop state to kotha kuri kene finally 2017 September ekta dangor convention huise Guwahati te. Pura North East pura delicate ai kine kiman mulaga bhauna te to around above 2000 hobo Nagaland para bhi bisi delegates aise all the CSOs represent kori kine itu convention te aise Manipur para aise Arunachal para aise Tripura para aise Meghalaya para sab Mizoram para delegate ai kine ekta dangor conference korise duita din laga edo convention pura decision loise ekta open forum form koribo to naam dise Northeast Indigenous Peoples Forum to ekta important decision to loise Northeast Indigenous Peoples Forum form kori kine to naam hoise Northeast Indigenous Peoples Forum aro ita convention te ita conference te ekta declaration bhi dise we had a series of declarations concerning the Northeast Indigenous Peoples Forum. We can sub join kori kine kaam koribo harmonious coexistence documentation kiba to 10-point declaration or before the formal office bearers kanto ekta spokesperson or convener moilaga uporte ekta responsibility dise itu dangor responsibility to or moibi bisi khushi paise ekta forum laga edo commitment dibo kaam koribo then inika kora time te Northeast Indigenous Peoples Forum almost 10 years we say all the states now chapter ase Arunachal bhi ase Meghalaya bhi ase Manipur bhi ase Tripura bhi ase or Nagaland bhi chapter ase to Nagaland chapter last 9th August the Indigenous Day for the World Indigenous People to celebration bhi korise apni bhi aise bisi khushi paise inika forum we are still very young notun ase young ase we hope in the future we will definitely grow aru itu Nagaland pura world celebration kora to ekta notun hope paise that Nagaland definitely notun member rai kine youth involvement hoi kine we hope that our forum will also grow, particularly from taking a cue from the last event in Nagaland. And ekta opportunity bhi lobo that I on behalf of the Northeast Indigenous Peoples Forum would like to congratulate the Nagaland chapter for successfully hosting the World Indigenous Day in Town Hall on 9th of August. It was a wonderful experience, a wonderful moment for all of us to rejuvenate and build a new hope for the Northeast Indigenous Peoples Forum.
Okay, sir. Northeast India do alag countries kan bishilo de borders share kore. So foreigners laga influx bhi bishi hoy ase man Northeast states de. To idu laga issue de kiman serious ase aro man laga indigenous communities laga security nimide kiman danger ase dhon lo develop ko paro sir
itu to moi khan jane moi khan to around mid 60s আছে মই খান তো 70 approach কৰি আছে আৰু মই খান student থাকা time পৰা হি এটো কথা তো ওলাই আছে from the 70s 80s 90 to foreigner issue Assam to go back foreigner কৰি কিনে মই খান ইউনিভাৰ্সিটি থাকা time তে এটা ডাঙৰ মুভমেন্ট বি থাকিছে মণিপুৰ বি থাকিছে অৰুণাচল বি থাকিছে তো আপুনি ভাবি চাবি ত্ৰিপুৰা তো original Tripuri to minority hoise after 1971 war para sab refugee ai kine dominate kore kine aru moi khan etu janibo lage Bangladesh or India to border to 4000 kilometer above ase to be precise 4096 kilometer of international boundary with Bangladesh bhi inika ekta country ase তালাগা ভিতরতে হি সার্ভাইভাল তো বেশি ডিফিকাল্ট কাম অপরচুনিটি ভিতরতে বি কনফ্লিক্ট থাকে তাই খান লাগা সব সেফ এরিয়া অপরচুনিটি তো ইন্ডিয়া হি আছে তো 4000 above লং কিলোমিটার তো কিনিকা মেইনটেইন করিব সিকিউরিটি থাকিব একটা কথা তো বার্মা বি ইনিকা আছে আজিকালি তো মিয়ানমার কয় মিয়ানমার অলসো North East laga boundary to 1643 kilometer nisina ase to itu to defend koribole fencing bi noy itu to khali porous border ase bisi danger to Burma ase kile Burma to within Burma taikhan laga ethnic conflict military conflict perpetual conflict ase a regular conflict to তাইখান লাগা exodus from Bangladesh আৰু Burma to inika ঘটনা ওলাই টাইমতে North East এ আয়ে ইটো তো refugee আছে when they have a conflict within their own country when they come out of fear of insecurity in their own countries they are displaced international refugees itu alag kotha taikhan refugee hoikina India a timete taikhan return যায় না যায় itu alag kotha itu upar te ekta bisi dangol kotha to Bangladesh or Burma para Myanmar para well plan kori kine ekta duita 100 they are coming regularly to settle in northeast India Arunachal Manipur Nagaland Assam itu kinika handle koribo itu kotha para Northeast Indigenous Peoples Forum almost 10 years they debate discussion kori kina all of dangor issue to ase apni ko to illegal immigrants ekta to refugee to record ase refugee thaka time to record ase so they can be either deported or it can be handled by the government as an international refugee itu alag kotha or dangerous kotha to people who are planning to come in a secret manner to settle apni ko to itu 4000 Bangladesh border to taikan to inika to they will come in apni Dimapur sabi itu Nagaland TV sabi kiman moi itu ki community to na ko moi khan bi school pora time te college pora time te to moi khan laga first destination to Dimapuri ase Manipur para aikina bus para aikina Dimapur para train lubo college university ja time te Dimapur in 1980s and Dimapur now in 2020 to population na hoikina demographic profile to change hoise itu ko to business opportunity political opportunity taikhan laga to survival instinct they will do anything aru moi khan laga system be all of weak Northeast Indigenous Peoples Forum ko ato we should develop our own system to be strong government of India ki kori thakibo hoilebe Northeast Indigenous People Forum request korato Nagaland hoilebe Manipur hoilebe political consciousness hobo lage itu kotha to that is why we are saying that these boundaries can never be fenced iman dangor boundary to fencing koribo na paribo lacks of security halilebi इनिका 1 किलोमीटर गैप पाइले तो इनिका ही आई जाबो तो इतु परा moi khan North East Indigenous Peoples Forum for the generation like you who are young we should work hard to ensure that there is a system in their own respective state इतु किनिका चेक करिबो किनिका कंट्रोल करिबो तो इतु भावना तो आज ही उलाई आसे लेट होइसे होले बि we should start now
अच्छा ओके सर इतु ला इशू दे बिशी सीरियस आसे इतु फॉरेन इन्फ्लक्स इलीगल इमिग्रेशन ला तो प्रिवेंटिव स्टेप्स kan गवर्नमेंट भी की स्टेप्स लाओ लगे इतु खान चेक कोले सिक्योरिटी खान टाइट रखोले इतु खान की स्टेप्स kan लाओ लगे अपनी लाई सकते
মই লগা पर्सनल কথা কব নর্থ ইস্ট ইন্ডিজিনাস পিপল লগা কনসার্ন তো আছে মই লগা पर्सनल কথা তো এজ এ সিটিজেন অফ দিস কান্ট্রি এন্ড এজ এ সিটিজেন অফ দিস নর্থ ইস্টার্ন রিজন এন্ড ফ্রম মণিপুর মই এদু কথা কব এদু লম্বা বাউন্ডারি তো ফেন্সিং করিলেবি মানুখান কিনিকা ইনফিলট্রেট করিব দে উইল সামহাউ ইনফিলট্রেট আপনি ভিডিওতে সাবি they are even jumping the fencing including cattle এটা কিলোমিটার গেপ পাইলে তো they will cut also and they will somehow infiltrate ইতু কথা পৰা মই গান last year Jokai declaration ইতু third convention was held in Jokai Dribugar in Assam in the month of March in 2025 सब नॉर्थ ईस्ट लगा डेलिकेट आइकिना तीनटा डिक्लेरेशन डिक्लेयर करिसे कन्वेंशन ते कॉन्फ्रेंस ते तो लास्ट पॉइंट तो नॉर्थ ईस्ट इंडिजिनस पीपल्स फोरम will request all the state governments to open a directorate or a department of indigenous affairs ekta indigenous affairs laga ekta department kholile at least কি করিব কিনিকা মেকানিজম ডেভেলপ করিব কিনিকা ব্যুরোক্রেটিক সিস্টেম ডেভেলপ করিব ইটো ডিসকাস কৰি কিনি আপনি ইস্যু উলায় তো হাউ টু চেক দি ইলিগেল সেটেলমেন্ট এন্ড এনক্রোচমেন্ট that indigenous department will have a big responsibility after Jokai Moikhan Aikini Nagaland chapter North East Indigenous Peoples Forum laga chapter we called on the Honorable Chief Minister of Nagaland Sir Nifirio Lokpai se then sub member milai kini MLA khan bi Lokpai se aru appeal kori se ekta assembly te discuss kori kine kinika open koribo so we were very lucky Honorable MLA Azo Nino Lokpai se মই খান এক্সপ্লেইন কৰিছে তাই কনভিন্স বি হৈছে আৰু তাই এটো কমিটমেন্ট দিছে নাগালেণ্ড ষ্টেট এছেম্বলিতে মই একটা প্ৰাইভেট বিল না একটা কথা কৰিব তো দ্য লাষ্ট সেশন দিস ইজ আ হিস্টোরিক মোমেন্ট ফর দ্য নর্থ ইস্ট ফর দ্য ফার্স্ট টাইম একটা নাগালেণ্ড এমএলএ পৰা একটা এছেম্বলিতে এটো আৱাজ এটো ইন্ডিজিনাস ডিপার্টমেন্ট affairs kholibole kotha to pura north east first ase to Nagaland assembly te aru last 9th August in the International Day of World People te chief guest to honorable speaker thakise Nagaland laga honorable speaker of the Nagaland assembly aise Azo Ninobi aise and in his speech the honorable speaker of the Nagaland assembly tai koise next opportunity paile ekta Nagaland assembly laga ekta parliamentary committee nutun committee constitute koribo oru itu kinika realize koribo etu announce korise moi khan bisi khushi paise and then honorable MLA Azo Ninu ose before leaving he said that we will definitely work hard to ensure that we will have a committee, a parliamentary committee of the Nagaland Assembly to discuss the modality of opening an indigenous affairs. I think Mulaga Bhavna Teto, Nagaland will be a leader in the entire Northeast to show the light, the future of the region. So, apni introduction te kuato infiltration border to. So if Nagaland starts this indigenous affairs department, they will show the light for the other states. And we can also say, Savina, Nagaland to suru korise, apni bhi koribo lage. So the success of the last celebration on 9 August, Northeast Indigenous Peoples Forum to bisi khushi paise. Ito dangor achievement. I think this is one way we would like to say thank you to the entire people of Nagaland. And this is an opportunity for me to be meeting you in the global window.
Acha sir, Northeast states te kali illegal immigration nigla no gina aro alag problems mahan international borders share kore alag countries lo de to tadewa drugs trafficking niliwi itu khan bi ase substance abuse mahala Northeast turn states la manuhan do substance abuse pa bishi struggle kore ase aro mahan international borders ina share ko do bishi drugs khan do outside pa hi ahe se so apni la hisab te government भी की preventive measures खान लो लगे इतु खान curb को निमिते
अपनी इतु questions तो बिसी important किले this was a very unexpected question for me and I am so happy that you asked me this question अपनी इतु question तो मोलगा generation इतु late 70s लगा college late early 80s laga college university first victim to moi khan laga generation ase first victim of drugs in Northeast massive victim to moi khan laga generation hi ase moi khan laga college a time te drug addiction or drug para iman morise they have killed an entire generation of promising youths from the Northeast. Not only Manipur, pura Northeast, Assam, Nagaland, Arunachal. The first wave of drug came in the late 70s and the massive was in the early 80s. That time we were in the university. So, it was a very emotional or very sentimental issue. Or first the Golden Triangle, the source of drugs for the entire world. Laos, Bangkok, Rangoon, idu Golden Triangle para apni bhi khunsa ko hai, idu do drug mafia lord. They will do anything to send out drug or itu transit point to. Itu America jabo, Europe jabo, ki destination jabo, heroin number 4 to. One possible route is through Nagaland and Manipur. Those days. Taikhan drug carry koribole ki paisa dibo, ki koribo, they will do anything. Tragic story to moikhan laga generation to drug carrier only na hoikina carrier na hoikina drug user bhi hoi jaise. So there was a massive loss of human resources, a lot of young talented youth those days. Till that, we are suffering because of the loss of human resources from the late 70s and early 80s. Moi ko ato apni husa issue to drug iman paisa ase drug. Drug can corrupt number 1 politicians. Drug can corrupt the system. I mean the officers, police officers. When drug can buy politicians and law enforcing agencies, situation kinika hobo apni bhi bhabi sabi. So all our politicians, I will not say all of them because they might need money, became corrupt, they were bought, and maybe it was for other destinations. Unfortunately, we became users and we were abused in that process. Not only users, if you look at the number of that time to HIV ko HIV, then AIDS, now people call people living with the virus. You look at how many widows, how many victims. Kiman pesa halilebi, look at the loss of human lives because of the virus and later on the syndrome, which is the AIDS. So the Northeast is such a country's mass area. We denied the existence of the virus for a long time. Moi khanto Christian ase, moi khanto Hindu ase, saram lagi kina moi khanto openly na kobo that he is a drug user. affect hoise HIV hoise to hidden population to iman hoikina ekbar to volcano nisna ulai time te it was beyond the means of the administration it was beyond the means of the society to cope with and to handle the crisis of the virus azikali to olop manage kori ase not only drugs come with that disease also psychological and physical and this is a huge problem moi khan to inika bhi koi ase the India government aru ki to responsible ase to subdue our talent moi university thaka time te moi ekta speech dise government is deliberately not checking drugs because they want to kill the youth of north east ko kana ekbar kora time te moi bhi olop गुस्सा उठी कि ना यूथ टाइम ते को टाइम तो पुलिस खान कोई से इतु तो अपन तो एंटी नेशनल स्टेटमेंट दिया से इतु भी मोई खान लगा भावना that time so you asked this very valid point besides the Northeast Indigenous Peoples Forum thinking of the threat by influx of people अपनी को तो drug itself is a big threat to the survival of the youth Kile moi khan to jaldi fashionable that time when you are growing you want to test new things so drug becomes one of the most harmful substance to be abused by our next generation as it is a big threat idupra moi khan ko to border to check koribole na paribo we should make our system strong we should realize the strength of the indigenous people moi khan laga ki traditional values ase moi khan laga ki cultural root ase respecting elders respecting community I am not saying that you go back to the old civilization you can still handle your mobile you can still go to your AI you can still go to all the information technology hulebigi moi laga kotha to at least let us go back to our roots and find the positives way how we can show to the rest of the world that we have our deep roots of a civilization which modern civilization cannot subdue idupra hi bc issue laya se I think which is very important and I think it is for the next generation also to teach us that what we should do Northeast Indigenous People Forum laga moi khan to koi ase moi khan to retire koribo we will retire now because we are above the age I am also crossing now 65 we want to retire now or through the global window I would like to make an appeal to the people of young people of Nagaland please come please remove us out and then own up the responsibility of what we think is the future of the next generation
Ita saishugli do border management mechanism can be bishi weak ase aru administration can be weak tha dikhe se drug laga trafficking hobi nilui illegal immigration illegal settlement itu kan bishi weak ase to malaga next generation amni kwansin idea next generation aha in 10 or 20 years te itu ina same tagle administration weak thayo nilui border management itu mechanism kan weak tagle do malaga northeast states la condition halat to kina wo nishna je mala next generation
moi last month northeast always northeast berai time te moi bi olop emotional hoikina koise that moi can be weak ase we are very weak to ekta gentleman paise he must be around 83 84 he was smiling at me and he said no we are not weak but we are very kind we are very kind we are very big hearted edo naga hoilebi maitai hoilebi ki mizo hoilebi khasi hoilebi arunachal hoilebi we are very kind we are very simple we are very humble manukhan a time te moi khan na pailebi the first thing even if we have to offer anything that we have to eat moi khan guest khan te hi dibo edu kindness and being big hearted it is being exploited by people who have ulterior designs of permanently settling down in our region moi khan kind ase big hearted ase itu area to manukan exploit kori ase naki moi khan laga itu bhabi ase yes we are kind we are gentle we are accommodative but we should think for our next generation apni kind hori kine gentle hori kina if you allow people to settle down ultimately demographic profile change hobo population change hobo economic rights, political right to deprive koribo. So I think it is the consciousness that we want to instill in the minds of the younger generation that unless we realize now, unless we take up some positive actions now by way of a system, by building a system to protect us now, it will be too late in the later stage. Apni khan bhi Nagaland Naga manu hi minority hui jabo. If at all business wise, I'm not talking in terms of population. Nagaland laga population te Nagaland te politics te kiman entrepreneur ase, kiman businessmen ase who are now taking a part of the developmental process. Itu question to moi hoti ase na. Moi bishi kotha to na koribo. If you ask in Nagaland, at the moment, how many projects are being undertaken in Nagaland? How many businessmen from Nagaland? How many entrepreneurs from Nagaland? They are part in that. I don't think many are. It is the big tycoons and many people who have a lot of money from outside. They are robbing us from here and they are sending back. Apni Dimapur sabi. Dimapur is a very small place of just 10 square mile. Dimapur, the business hub, is 10 square mile, where the entire northeastern region business to Dimapur he control Korea se. So kiman nagamanu
communities.
Ha to itu pura moi ko ase not political right but economic right also. Itu pura moi kan politicians bara itu request Korea se that we should be a part of that growth. We should be a stakeholder, not merely a coolie. We are only purchasers, no? Coolie, we are only carriers. So, itu kotha bhi galti noy. Aro we are not anti-national. Moi do business te we want to be a part of it ko to anti-national asena ki noy. We are saying that we want our next generation to be a part of it. Nagaland government should build young generation, build the capacity, encourage the entrepreneurs, give them loans, whatever it is, compete with people from outside. They should be a part of that competition. Idu ki kwa playing level field na. So suppose apni 100 meter run quarter, they are already running 50 meters ahead. We are running 50 meters. So they will always win in business. So I think how we can give the new generation an opportunity. This is also a very serious issue being discussed in the Northeast Indigenous Peoples Forum.
Dimapur la example apni bishi bal gushe bishi business kan itu man naga manu na outsider khan bai inaugurate se do ini naga manu ki message dioli mun jase apni bi
moi laga bhavna te to Northeast Indigenous Peoples Forum first to ekta declaration hui se 2017 aur April 2022 te second conference was held in Dipubar. Ekta bhi declaration ulai se. Aur the third convention do jokai hua time te declaration to hui thaki se aur ekta point to moi Dimapur Difubar declaration te ekta point ulai se documentation of oral history. Nagaland kiman district ase, kiman area ase, itu pura kiman progress hoise, itu document korile indigenous people laga role to kiman ase. There must be a proper documentation in the economic growth and how and where our indigenous people are involved in that economic development. Itu kotha para Jokai declaration, we had this Jokai declaration and we said we will urge all the state governments to open a separate department or a directorate of indigenous affairs. This will be one way of building the capacity of indigenous people. Now the government should have a mechanism that every single, I am not talking that Dimapur para ki business kurato, we are not saying that you please tell them to go, but how to be a partner in that, how to be a stakeholder and shareholder in that. This has to be built by a system, by the government. If there is some business in Dimapur, Kohima, in Mukokchung, Wokha, anywhere, মই খান কোৱাটো local people should have the right and privilege to be a part of it. That capacity has to be built by the government.
Okay, sir. Northeast states laga indigenous land noliwi indigenous resources can protect kole ki safeguard like measures can ki lo like it lo develop ko paro.
Safeguard to, I think we should be blamed for, we shouldn't blame others. Manukun ka to bahar manu ai kina, they are coming and then they are staying. Blame to, I think we should own up that responsibility. Moi khan bhi itu responsibility lobo lage. Kile manu khan ai kina moi khan laga jagate kine boi thakibo unless we allow them na. So we should own that responsibility up also. At the same time, we are not saying them not to come here also. However, they come here and they grave and ultimately they claim the legitimacy of being a resident. Itu kotha do. And when we ourselves need manpower, human resources, and when we ourselves cannot be part of that human resource development, that is the challenge that we have among our youth today. Our system is making our younger generation, I'm not going to say that they're going to make us weaker, but it should give us a strength to work harder, to ensure when there is a highway construction from Dimapur to Kohima or Dimapur to Mao, you will see that 99.9% of the laborers are not from Nagaland. Kile moi khan bhi kaam kore bole mon noy, the labors are also cheaper. But the law should be such that the labor minimum charge should be given as per the law, and you cannot look for a cheaper labor to displace our manpower. Alright, I have seen that many villagers would like to be a worker there, but they will not pay the regular labor charges. They will look for a cheap labor from outside. They come here, they enjoy, and they don't want to go back. Itu kothana. So what I'm saying is, it is to be ensured by the state government that when corporates come in, they should give the minimum charge to our people, so that we should maximum utilization of the human resources.
Sir, do problems kan do kali mon Nagaland Naga manugla face nagurna alak northeastern states can be sub face krise indigenous communities laga malaga identity protect kole noliwi demographic changes itu hando sub northeastern states can face krise to northeastern states can sub miligina kam kole to coordination do bishi important ekta dikhe to northeast indigenous peoples forum babi itu law board apnan kinaga kam krise coordination kina
moi khan bi inika ko to moi khan bi bishi nutun organization ase. We have to admit that we are very young organization. Even if it is 10-year-old, we are very young, and it is a dynamic process of growth. We are also growing. So inika ekta kotha ulaise last time nahar lugunte ekta meeting hoise Arunachal te sub state laga representative aikina ko we should meet all the chief ministers. Ekta opinion ulaise moi khan sab milai kina verai kina sab chief minister lok pai kini all the chief ministers should sit for a conference and sit together and realize the common problem. Ekta state to fight koribo na paribo na. To moi khan last meeting te moi khan laga itu Northeast Indigenous Peoples Forum to only 7 states ase without Sikkim. To last meeting te we have made a proposal to include Sikkim also, and it will be rectified in the next meeting. So moi bhabi ase edo chairman Sri Anup Chetia aru sub vice chairman Nagaland laga bhi vice chairman ase edo Mr. Kyoto, who is the vice chairman advisor of the Northeast indigenous people laga, or Nagaland chapter laga bhi tai advisor ase, Arunachal laga bhi ase aru Meghalaya laga bhi. तो moi khan ekta team jai kine Sikkim te bi etu chapter khole bole try koribo aro etu sub northeast states laga chief minister moi khan request koribo please arrange or please at least send your ministers or leaders from the state to sit together and have a regular Northeast conference to understand. अपनी को तो border लगा, अपनी को तो infiltration लगा, अपनी को तो illegal settlement regular, most importantly तो drug लगा. अपनी मुझे तो कथा तो out of context होगा. People are saying that the Manipur is also because of this the drug infiltration, drug mafia. This present crisis is also attributed to some kind of a drug mafia. अपनी ऐतला satellite image लोई किने साबे नागालैंड और अरुणाचल प्रदेश और मणिपुर आजिकाली तो satellite image भी available आसे. You go to Google and look at the picture of the Northeast. In the last 10 years, किमान mountain पूरा forest उलाई किने drug plantation कोरिया से इतु तो very alarming situation. मणिपुर तो almost 1/3 ना mountain तो सब जुलाई किने drug plantation कोरिया से. इतु कोट पर आइसे बाहर परा drug mafia परा. ताइखान politician, I don't know if I said that they have been either bribed or purchased or they have exploited the weak system. Itu ki ko bo na jane. The very fact that people from outside can come and destroy our big forest in a massive planned way and do the plantation of poppy plants systematically, I would say that either they have exploited the corrupt system of the country or the weak system of the country and being exploited with the power of gun and money, which is assuming a very, very dangerous situation for the next generation to come. As I said, we were the first generation to be affected by drugs and later by the virus and obviously the syndrome, and they're largely affected people. If you look at the present situation of Manipur and with the alarming deforestation replaced by poppy plantation, Nagaland might be the next victim. If you tell a villager, अपनी बोस्ते आइके न कोबो अपनी तो प्लांटेशन की को तो राइस वेजिटेबल तो पर एकड़ ना पर हेक्टर तो किमान पाए 1,000 2,000 तो from my field I have just 40 tins of grain to kiman to 50,000. I'll give you 5 lakhs. Cut your forest and take poppy plantation. So the villager to from 50,000 to 5 lakhs, it is a quantum jump, not realizing like next generation ki suffer koribo. This is an awareness. Then the government has to look into that, come into that. Horticulture has to come in, agriculture has to come in and give the empowerment to the villagers in some way, an alternative source of income regularly. And it would be possible if you open an indigenous affairs department to look into the needs of the indigenous population. We are not saying that we are anti-national. As I look at how our next generation will have sustainability, at the same time have a dignity of survival. Itu khan moi koi ase.
So itu issues kan saule niliwi malaga indigenous identity or indigenous territories kan protect kol nimite man government bi ko lay, but local communities kan like village bodies niliwi local communities kan key role like tahan mi ki role lage itu han man laga identity protect kole.
Very luckily, Nagaland to ekta state ase, idu community or village to very strong ase. Nagaland moi olop sa to kiman 16-17 tribe ase. Taikhan labi alag ho ase, CSOs ase. Until today, you have a very strong basis of community sense. Kiki tribe hoilebi. That strength of belonging to a community can be transformed into a strong strength of existence. You still have a very strong church, you still have a very strong voice of the community. When that strong community can give a message to all the villagers that this is the way how we should progress, keeping a long touch with our own deep root, into the kinika moikhan strength, how to build that strength premise on our cultural roots. Apni ko to moikhan laga tribal khan, moikhan laga community khan kinika itu system te involve koribo, help koribo. I think আজিকালি laga generation to olop after the gatherings, আজিকালি sports te gathering hobo, club te hobo, church te hobo, moikhan request kori ase aji United Nations youth, they have changed the age group. Before laga to 33 years ase. Those who were below the age of 33, they were called youth by United Nations. Of late, they have changed it from 15 to 25. So they said the responsibility of the next generation should be owned up by the youth. This is a very clear vision of the United Nations. Next generation can, they are more enlightened than us, they are more educated than us, they are more exposed than us. So Northeast Indigenous Peoples Forum would be very happy if the Nutun generation can free time part time te community basis te how we can have a better future for us. Then they should become active and tell the elder generation that don't do this. They should be brave enough. Ajikali mulaga bhaunate youth to lop brave na thake naki. I think our elder generations were very brave. Moikhan student thaka time te youth khan to, I'm not saying they were rough, but they were very brave in telling the truth, and the politicians itu na kori bide. To itu wave to aji laga generation te olop na thake kipra. They are more ambitious in their own personal way. They are ambitious in their own personal achievement. Moikhan laga humble request to, you should also devote something for your own community and for the next generation to come. Itu khan Northeast Indigenous Peoples Forum definitely would like to engage the youth for the next generation to come.
Acha sir, mula last question do government of India noliwi northeastern states laga government can be malaga aha future secure holding nimide example ani citizenship verification of noliwi demographic changes mala indigenous land protection ituhan bal hol nimide mala future secure hol nimide ki policy measures kan law lage do we alap koi do
loli Northeast Indigenous Peoples Forum member kanto from different walks of life maybe apni nisina ekta journalist ase aru lawyer khan ase kiba profession para ai kina volunteer kori kina kaam kori ase to moi khan bavi ase itu opinion government te ki kobo state te ki kobo itu para data collection na paile bi moi khan ajikali youth laga monte ki ase itu understand koribole moi khan essay writing competition right from their hearts moi khan invite kori ase. Last time the role of youth in preservation of our own culture itu essay writing competition kora pra bisi participation aise. I think winner to there was one girl from Nagaland, Naharlugunte prize dise. I have forgotten the name, with due apology. Tai bhalpara likhise itu youth laga role ki ase. To moi khan babi ase for the next conference to be held, we will have one essay writing competition for the youth. I have been given the responsibility and we will find a topic very soon. Maybe moi khan itu topic ki hobo September last October beginning te announce koribo. Moi khan video conference kori kini arob WhatsApp te share kori kini moi khan sab Northeast laga member khan topic ki hobo itu decide koribo. So your question was very inspiring. अपनी लगा क्वेश्चन तो मुइखान लगा रोल की होबो to speak or to negotiate or to dialogue with the central government and state governments. I think this is a very inspiring question, and I think I will definitely put this in our next available meeting, that मुइखान एकता इनका essay writing competition te इनका एकता topic रखिबो Northeast indigenous people, central government, central leadership, or within local leadership te मुइखान की कोबो what we should tell our leaders to do for the cause of Northeast. I think probably this could be one inspiring question that you have had, and I will propose this topic for the next essay writing competition. Then when 5,000 youth, girls and boys, they take part in the essay writing competition, and we also have a team of professors, college lecturers, teachers, academics from different, and we keep analyzing what our youth voice is. So इनका भी एक opportunity आसे मोइखान 5,000 youth तो लोग पावो तो possible नोए will be एक competition थाकिले through their writing. Then we will have a team of our senior members, academics, historian, politics. की थाकिले बच्चा खान जो youth खान लगा voice की आसे, I think we should be learning from them. किले ताइखान लगा aspiration, youth लगा hope, ताइखान लगा future, because the future is theirs. So what they want, I think that is one opportunity that we should learn. And I hope that in the coming future months, we will definitely be channelizing what we should be telling the central government and our own state leaders. So inspiration to Moikhanbi from the youth, I think we should get the inspiration from the youth. I think I should be saying that youth are more enlightened. Ajikali youth, they are more educated than the present generation. They should be able to inspire us.
Sir, thank you so much. Ita last apni mala viewers lo deku message can share ko limo na sirli. Please share ko pa.
Okay. On behalf of the Northeast Indigenous Peoples Forum, I would like to make a humble request to the entire youth of Nagaland. They should be forthcoming, they should be energetic, and guide the senior members of the Northeast Indigenous Peoples Forum to make a brighter future for the indigenous people of the region. Moi ekta honest appeal koribo itu Northeast Indigenous Forum laga behalf te sab youth Nagaland laga apni khan indigenous people laga issue almost understand korikina apne laga future ki hobo ki bhavna koribo itu to apne laga awaz to apni hi khud kobo lage. Aru Northeast Indigenous Peoples Forum to open forum ase or moikhan welcome koribo apne laga opinion, apne laga views, and it is for the next generation of the people of the entire northeastern region. And I request you to own up the responsibility and take care. And as we leave this forum, you are the one that we believe that you will make our Northeast Indigenous people a better place. And on the 9th of August, we had the celebration of the International Day of the World Indigenous People Forum. And the Northeast Indigenous People Forum had launched this very souvenir. And on behalf of the forum, I would like to present this to the global window. And there are many articles and write-up, and it's a pleasure.
Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. So viewers, ito dakshe Northeast Indigenous Peoples Forum laga Secretary General Ningtho Khongjam Ibungochoubi taibra man laga indigenous communities kan laga man identity kinaka protect ko lage nulibi man laga land rights aro demographic changes itu kan laga issues oporde itu serious issues oporde dai khoda ko labi hunishe aro aha same future nimide itu kan kina safeguard ko lage kina protect ko lage dhongla porde dai ko abi hunishe ita rani manase. For more news and updates, keep watching Global Window.